What's up everybody, it's your man Diggy Pews and welcome to my PewTube channel. This is going to be episode 3 in the kind of mini micro series that I'm doing about the different types of competitions that I shoot. Please make sure to check out the previous video which was all about the USPSA competitions. This video is going to be the IDPA and the steel matches. We're going to start with IDPA, we'll go through some scoring and some rules, I'll do an example stage and then we'll move on to the steel matches. So hopefully you guys learned something and hopefully you guys enjoy this. Cue the intro! Alright, so I'm going to start things off with some of the common rules that you're going to see in IDPA. A friend of mine once said that you don't have to be a lawyer to shoot IDPA, but it certainly helps. There's a lot of rules. So I'm going to go through some of the common ones. I'm probably going to miss some because, again, there are a lot. So first thing, all IDPA stages are going to be 18 rounds or less. No more than 18, most of them are less than 18. Most stages are going to require the shooter to draw from concealment. So an example of this would be an inside the waistband holster or a hip holster with some sort of a cover garment like a shirt or a vest or something to that effect. Some stages are going to have you start with your gun in your holster. Some may have you start with your gun on the table or in a box or something similar. Some stages will have you start seated in a car or in a chair. It literally all depends on the stage design. If you need to reload during a stage, the magazine must be completely empty or you have to stow it in like your pocket or a mag pouch. There used to be a rule that you had to shoot all of your ammunition before you were able to reload, but it has actually been changed and you can now reload with one bullet left in the chamber, but all targets must be neutralized if you plan on reloading from outside of cover. So IDPA stands for International Defensive Pistol Association and is a much more tactical type of competition. All of the stages need to be shot in a certain order due to what is called tactical priority. Now, tactical priority essentially means you need to shoot the targets based on their threat level. Usually, this means whatever target can quote-unquote see you first when you're shooting from behind cover. Now, this is usually not the closest target to you. If you're shooting out in the open where multiple targets can quote-unquote see you, you would then engage them from nearest to furthest. If they were all the exact same distance away, you can then shoot them in any order you choose. Alright, so this is a little IDPA stage plan that I found on the internet. Now, most IDPA stages are going to be a bit more complex than this. However, this is going to be good for an example. So in this stage, you would start in box A. When the beep goes off, you would then move to position 1. From position 1, you peek out from behind the wall, and you'll notice that target 1, even though it's further away, can see you first. So you would engage target 1, then target 2. Once you've done that, you would move to position 2, peek out from behind the wall, and you'll notice that target 5 can see you first. So you would then engage target 5, then 4, then 3. Now at this point, if you have to reload, you can actually reload on the move, because targets 1 through 5 have already been neutralized and targets 6 and 7 are behind a wall. So reload on the move on the way to position 3, peek out from behind the wall, you would then shoot target 6, then target 7, and the stage is complete. Okay, so now that we got some of the rules out of the way, let's talk about scoring. So IDPA uses what is called time plus scoring, which essentially is your time for the stage plus any added seconds based on your target hits and or penalties. Here are the two types of targets that you will see at an IDPA match, aside from steel. You have the standard IDPA target, and then you have a no-shoot target. Notice that the targets are very similar to the USPSA targets, but the zones and the scoring is a little bit different. Now, just like USPSA targets, IDPA targets have 3 zones. There's the down 0 zone, which adds 0 seconds to your time. There's the down 1 zone, which adds 1 second to your time for each hit. And there's the down 3 zone, which adds 3 seconds for each hit. Also, just like USPSA, each paper target needs 2 hits. You can hit it more than twice, but the best 2 hits on that paper target is what is going to count for your score. So for example, say you hit a down 1 and a down 0, but you shoot a third shot and get another down 0, you would stay down 0 for that particular target. As I said earlier, IDPA also uses steel targets that must fall to score. Now when I say score, I mean it must fall over in order for you to be down 0 for that target. If it doesn't fall over or you forget to engage it, it will count as a miss and it will add 5 seconds to your time. Now that brings me to penalties. A miss is a penalty that will add 5 seconds to your time for each miss. However, there are what are called procedural penalties, and those will add 3 seconds for each one. Some examples would be engaging targets out of order, dropping a loaded magazine, or engaging a target from outside a fault line. Now there are of course other penalties, but these are the most common ones, so they're the ones that I decided to include in the video. I'll add a link in the description if you want to see the full list of penalties if you're interested. Now because of these penalties and the way that scoring works in IDPA, IDPA definitely favors accuracy over speed. USPSA was kind of a mixture of both, and you could actually make up for some bad hits by going a little bit faster, but in IDPA, you're really rewarded for being accurate, so sometimes it's better to slow down just a tiny bit and make sure to get those down 0 hits. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking down the stage that I showed in the intro. This stage is 7 paper and 1 steel for a total of 15 rounds. You start with your gun in your strong hand, and your offhand is actually holding an innocent bystander out of the way. Once the beep goes off, you let go of the swinger and engage the targets in whatever order you choose. I went left to right because it just made it easier. Now I shoot carry optics, so my starting capacity is 10 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. Once I get through this steel and these 2 paper, that will be my 11 shots, and you'll see my gun is empty, but I reload on the move because all the other targets had been neutralized and it was okay. I engaged the last 2 paper targets and the stage is done. Okay, let's take a look at my time for that stage. My raw time was 16.11 seconds. I had 2 down 1 hits, which will add 2 seconds to my raw time, giving me a total of 18.11 seconds, which was good enough for 3rd in my division of carry optics and 4th place overall out of all the competitors. So how do we win? Well, it's really simple. You take your total time for each stage, that's the raw time, plus any penalties or points down. You add all of those up, and whoever has the fastest time is the winner. 2nd place would be next fastest, 3rd place would be next fastest after that, etc., etc. Alright guys, so that's actually going to do it for this video. I know that I was planning on putting the IDPA and the steel matches in one video, but I decided I'm just going to go ahead and keep everything separated so that way people can watch whatever they want to watch and whatever they're interested in. I did pick up a few new subscribers, so I just want to say thank you guys. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content moving forward, and keep your eyes peeled for the final episode in this Competitions Explained mini micro series, which will be all about the steel matches that I shoot. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. This has been your man Diggy Pews. Don't forget, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my sights.